Today's Spotlight on Naperville is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Naperville, community that cares. I'm Nancy Wearsome, and we're going to switch gears now and talk about Naperville Response for our veterans. Wonderful to have you. Sharon Gorell is PR committee and former chair of Naperville Response for our veterans. And we have two veterans here. Jack Amberg is Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Army retired.
Yes, I am. Thanks, Nancy.
And on the Veteran Committee. And also Paul Martis is PR Committee Event Chair and also an Army veteran.
Yes, thank you.
So good. Thank you both for your service, by the way. We can't start without saying that as well. So we so appreciate you. Well, Sharon, let's begin by talking about the mission of Naperville Response for our veterans.
The overall mission of Naperville Response for our veterans is to help veterans in need with any type of housing-related challenge. Could be something that he may need a repair, or she may need something remodeled to adapt their house to their disability. Our main focus is disabled veterans, but that we're going to let Jack Amberg address kind of what disabled really means in the world of veterans. We know that we have been gifted with time and talent and all kinds of things here in the Naperville community, and we wanted to do something that could give back. And that's really how Naperville Responds was born. However, we recognize that we can't do it alone. The group started very organically. It was essentially started by a group of folks that were surrounding the real estate industry. We have realtors, we have builders, we have lenders, we have attorneys, we have all kinds of folks that were kind of tangentially related to the real estate industry. However, we don't want folks to think that that's the only way that you can help. We have all kinds of things for folks to do. So if you think that you have a passion for veterans, we want you. We want to hear from you. We want to have you engaged with us and come by our side to do what you can to help veterans, whether it's helping on an event, helping if you are a contractor and you want to help build a home or remodel a home or repair a home. We have a place for you with Naperville Response for our veterans.
Well, I think everyone will feel very welcome after hearing that.
I hope so.
Absolutely. And Jack, now you have a very important message for our veterans.
I sure do. Thanks, Nancy. What I want to do is reach out to my fellow veterans, because the young men and women who served in the forces and then they become old men and women and so on have a number of different needs at times. And many of them may have service-connected disabilities, and you can see them or not see them. And what tends to happen a lot of times is, they'll go to the VA, they'll get what they can from the Veterans Assistance Commission at the county or work with the city folks wherever they can, but the government doesn't always fill all of the needs. So there are gaps. What we're trying to do is find those gaps and fill them, but we need the veterans to come forward and say, you know what? Hey, I got $12,000 to fix my house, but I'm in a wheelchair now, so how many doorways is that really gonna expand? I have unique challenges. If there is a lost limb in my shower, for example, I need to be able to sit down. Right. That's not taken care of, so those are areas where we can help. And then don't forget the ones where you can't really see the injuries, the post-traumatic stress disorder and so on. We can help those kinds of folks too. Just want them to step forward and let us know what their needs are so we can see what we can do.
And that's a really important message, because we don't want them to be thinking, oh, they'll find me. You're saying we need to know who you are.
Sure.
and what kind of help you need.
They defended the Constitution of the United States, and at the beginning of the Constitution it says, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, ... provide for the common defense. We are volunteers in this community fulfilling that implied contract that once you've provided for the defense, we should then take care of you.
You said that beautifully, beautifully.
Thank you.
Very, very meaningful. Let's turn to you. Now, you have a couple of events down the road.
Yes.
Well, this is one of my favorites, Cheers for Our Veterans. Tell us about Cheers for Our Veterans, because we do want to get
Cheers for Our Veterans is our third annual Cheers for Our Veterans. It's a wine tasting event. We're excited about it. We had a great turnout last year. What we do is we bringing together people in the community that have a strong interest not only in being involved in the event, but also that want to be involved with the veterans and the organization that we represent. We're always looking for sponsors, so I reach out to the listening and the viewing audience to say if you want to be involved as a sponsor, please step up to it. But it's going to be on November the 6th, Wednesday. Right now we're planning on Crest Creek again. This is where we had it last year. Cooper's Hawk was very, very good at being one of the sponsors of that event. We're going to reach out to them again as well. But we're tasting wines. There's also going to be some Scotch tasting. For those of you that may have an interest in tasting a cigar, you might have that opportunity as well. I'll kind of leave that under wraps. Some of you may have an interest in that. But we'll also be having a silent auction, and that was very, very successful last year. It helped raise a lot of funds that we use for our organization. So we really wanted everybody to keep that, save the date, the November 6th. In addition to that, we're having something really unique coming to Naperville. It's never happened before, so some of you may know of it, but again, it's something we're excited to be a participant in. And that is the first inaugural marathon here in Naperville, scheduled for November 10th, right before Veterans Day. That'll be an activity that, for the most part, has been sold out. All the entries have been used up, with the exception of a few not-for-profits. Naperville Response for Our Veterans, nrfov.org, is a site that I highly encourage you to go to find out a little bit more about how many slots we have left. And as of Monday, we only had 20 slots left. So if you're not a runner, but you know someone is looking for an entry into something that's first time in Naperville and very limited in its the numbers that they will still allow in, please go there. You can find out information and who to contact within our organization. Bob Cook is the one that is responsible for working through those entries that are left.
So 2 great ways
Yes.
that people can be involved with Naperville Response for Our Veterans, and you encouraged people so many ways they can help. You have encouraged our veterans to step forward, and we're going to leave it at that. Naperville Response for Our Veterans, and we so appreciate your being on and the great work you do, and again for your service. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
And we're going to take a very brief pause, and when we come back, more Spotlight on Naperville. Stay with us.